What is Inspire in simple terms?
That's a very good question. So let's start from the easiest part. Inspire is a European directive which entered into force in 2007, establishing an infrastructure for spatial information in Europe, aiming at making accessible and usable in interoperable way environmental data. The ultimate goal, we can say, is to support European policies which have a direct or indirect impact on the environment. We have to say that Inspire has legal acts which are implementing rules adopted by all member states, binding for all public administration dealing with environmental data.
What's the Inspire timeline?
This is the second very important point. So there is an Inspire implementation roadmap with many deadlines, but in this context we will focus on two of them. The first one is a past deadline, which was in November 2012, requiring that all spatial dataset of Annex 1 shall be conformed to implementing rule about interoperability. The second one, which is at the end of October 2015, requires that also Annex 2 and Annex 3 datasets shall be conformed to implementing Rule 1089 and subsequent revisions. So, how can we assess the degree of conformance of the datasets to the relevant Inspire requirements?
The Annex A of the Inspire data specifications defines a set of abstract tests which can be applied on a dataset to evaluate how much it fulfills the Inspire requirements. And these tests are usually referred to as Abstract Test Suite or ATS.
Okay, clear. It would be nice to have an online tool to make this kind of assessment.
I agree. An online validation service providing executable tests that implement the abstract test of the Inspire data specification is available both at the eENVplus European project platform and at the Epsilon Italia Cloud infrastructure for Inspire.
So how does this tool work?
The user interface provides step-by-step introductory guide to Inspire data validation process and abstract tests by means of HTML pages.
But can every test be executed automatically?
No. Not all the tests contained in the ATS can be executed by means of software tools, and for some of them the manual intervention is not avoidable. So the validation service provides an automated validation, namely the E1 test, for the abstract tests that can be executed automatically. Guidelines to manual validation are provided for the abstract tests that cannot be automated.
So, how can we perform the automated tests?
Once you're logged in the platform, the dataset to be tested can be uploaded according to three different options: as a local resource, as a web resource, and as a WFS GET feature request. In addition, an Inspire theme-specific schematron file can be selected from a drop-down list to test those requirements that cannot be translated by means of XML grammar. For example, the requirements related to geometry representation and the code list values.
But how can we read the results of the validation?
A summary of the validation results is provided in a result overview page in which the user can click on the View Details link to visualize the log test file, which contains information related to the number of tests that are passed, skipped or failed, and the description of the errors. And can also click on the detailed test report link to visualize a pie chart diagram, and the results of the tests are grouped by their target. Tests, for example, that are related to application schema structure, or tests related to other constraints such as schematron rules, for example, and so on.
So after this quick tour, where we can find more information about how to use a validation service?
A step-by-step video tutorial is available at Epsilon Italia YouTube channel. Just follow playlist Inspiring Pills.
And don't forget, ultimately, that we are at your disposal to provide any kind of support.